Hi guys, good morning. I'm Precious Dominics and you're welcome to my YouTube channel. For today's video, we are going to be making a simple skirt, straight cut skirt, very stylish without sewing machines. So we are going to be working with just the fabric and thread and thread and needle. So before we head straight to the video, please, I'd like you to click on the subscribe button, click on notification bell so that you would get notifications whenever I post content, because you're going to be getting amazing and great content on this channel. So guys, we are going to go straight to it. First, actually, this skirt, we are making it without any measurements. So this is just a plain fabric that was cut. I think this is about a yard or a yard and a half. I think a yard, I think so, yeah. So I've already, because I'd like to make this the waist rubber. So what I did was to sew rubber to sew a rubber band, the white rubber. Sorry, what I did was to sew the rubber band inside of the skirt, and you can see that it was hand sewn. And before I forget, you need basic sewing skills for you to carry out this project. At least you should know how to mend your clothes. If you can mend your clothes, then you can do this. So this was all made with hand. I don't know if you can see it. And then I would also show you this stitch. So the third one is actually the stitch I used for the hem lines, but because I'm going to be sewing it in, I'm going to show you actually how to make that kind of stitch. We actually call it weaving in Nigeria. I don't know what other name it's called, but like the finishing that you give to the edge of your dress. I'll show you how to do it with your hand, and also how to create button stitches. So there's like 4 kinds of stitches here. So actually I've sewn the waist together, and this side, the sides of the skirts, I've sewed it together, but I haven't done this end, the end. So that's what we are going to be doing today. Lest I forget, I also, to give your skirts, to give it a fine fitting behind, like in order not for it, in order for it not to have the puff stuff behind, you actually have to like sew it in together. So this is how I did. I hope you understand. Whatever you don't understand, please feel free to ask me in the comment section. I'll be very glad to answer your questions or do another video on this too. So this is it, and this is what it looks like in front. So I'll show you, this is what our skirt looks like. Let us jump right into it. So I had to iron the end, so I have um a neat layer to work on. Like, how do I put it? So I have a neat I know you understand, to work on, so that folding and sewing together wouldn't be an issue. So I had to do this before we take the light. and I just did a few minutes back. Thank God I did it. So I'm going to be using a brown thread for this, because basically the main color of this fabric is brown. The main color of the fabric is brown, so I'm going to be using a brown thread to sew through from this end and see how neat it is to this end. And then after that, we'll head over to the next thing. I'll show you how to thread. I'm working with a very tiny needle. I have, okay, they're all the same kinds. This is very tiny needle is what I'm working with. I hope you can see this. Yeah, very tiny. Because you wouldn't want to make your threading look like so bold and make it look like you're jumping it. This needle is like the needle I use mostly for my works, like most of my works, because it makes the work neat, makes the work very neat, and like you'd love the finish. That's what I used for this one. You'd barely know that I even threaded. I used, you wouldn't even know. I don't know if you can see this, but that's how good it is when you use a tiny needle. Like you can't even see nothing. You can't see the thread. You can't see the thread outside here too. This is how good it looks. You barely know that it was threaded with hand or it was sewn with hand. So some people make their thread like double, like do it this way and then fold and pass, and then the thread is like this. I'm going to make mine single because I want my work to be neat and look like it was sewn with a machine. I'm showing you how to stitch like this type of stitch. Sew on this end, like this part of the dress that's close to the line of the folding. So we are going to do this and then pass it through the end of the folding. Make sure it's tiny. It's actually a bit tough here because the fabric here is actually thicker than that here. When we get to this phase, you find out that it's a bit more easier to sew. I'm sorry, I'm going to be doing the rest, explaining the rest of the video as to how I achieved this look in a voiceover, because I lost files, and part of the files I lost were videos that would have aided in the detailed description of how I got to this point. So after making sure that the hem was prim and proper, making sure there was no thread showing and being visible to the public or being visible to anyone else apart from the person putting it on, I went ahead to sort out the buttons. I wanted to make something like, I wanted to play with colors for the buttons, colors and designs. So I picked buttons, like buttons that were, I have a plate where I save buttons. So I picked buttons. As you can see the cream color, the black, the gold and the brown. So I decided to play with colors, and while fixing the buttons I made sure that they were in close proximity to each other, so that while you're working your clothes, the space between the buttons isn't so much that anybody can see what you're putting on inside through the spaces. And I also tried to figure out the other part of the fabric where I was going to put my buttonholes. So, and in doing that I used the blade to make incisions, and I made sure, you have to be careful with that part, I made sure that I placed the fabric over something that was thick or strong, so that while you're making the incisions, it's make sure that what you're placing it on, maybe a table, but for me I used a container that was strong enough not to penetrate, not strong enough for the blade not to penetrate it. So after doing that, while you're making the incisions for your buttons, also check out the size of the button, whether it fits the buttonhole. You wouldn't want to finish making your buttonhole, sewing it together, and then you find out that your button can't fit into your buttonhole. While you're sewing together the button to the dress, you wouldn't make any incision for the first button that you're going to be putting, which is that on the waist. Remember that we're working with a fabric that is more like a wrap dress, but not, more like a wrap skirt. So because once you put an incision on the rubber, the elastic that is at the waist, you're going to cut everything, and everything will just be in vain, all your efforts will be in vain. So what you'd like to do is to sew the button on the part of the fabric, to sew the two parts of the fabric together with the button on it. So that's how you sort that one out, and then you do the rest. And after that, you have your dress. As you can see, the details, you have everything sewn together, and then you proceed to make your button holes very proper and prim. The same thing we did to the edge of the dresses is what we are going to do to the buttonholes, sewing it properly and making sure that everything is so clean and there's no thread coming off your buttonhole. So after that, you proceed to iron your skirt and get ready to rock your skirt. You can pair with, for this my skirt, you can pair with a cream colored shirt or white. For me, I rocked mine with white, and it will be best with a belt. I mean, you need to check this out. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I'm very sorry I couldn't complete the whole thing with a detailed video of how I got of how I achieved this, but I hope that in the future that I'm going to make something else and there will be a very detailed video of it. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope that you subscribe to my YouTube channel before 3 seconds. Please do well to click on the subscribe button and also click on notification bell so that you get notifications whenever I post content on YouTube, because you know that my content on YouTube are very educating and you don't want to miss out on any of it. Thank you guys. See you in my next video. Bye.